Welcome to Traveling While Black in Seattle.
Hey, what's up? I'm Anthony, this is my wife Marley, and welcome to another episode of Traveling While Black in Seattle.
Yes, welcome back everyone. As a brief reminder, our show is based on our experiences in and around Seattle, and we base those experiences off of how good of a drive it was, how much fun we had, and most importantly, how comfortable do we feel as Black people visiting for the first time.
Right now, and all the way up to June 12th, you can experience the Smithsonian's traveling exhibition, the Negro Motorist Green Book, in Tacoma at the Washington State History Museum.
Yes, on April 9th, we got to travel down with our friends at the Black Washington State Historical Society and some other new friends along the way on the King County Metro Black Lives Matter bus to view the exhibit and see a special presentation by the Washington State Historical Society.
Yep. The day was special and powerful. So for this episode, we're not going to give any ratings. Just know everything was a 5. But instead, we just want to emphasize how dope the exhibition is and that we hope that you can get out and experience it for yourself.
Yes, and as always, check out the episode and let us know what you think. When Anthony and I decided to create our show, we remembered the original copy of the Green Book that we came across at my grandparents' house a few years back. And from that memory, the guide became the foundation and biggest inspiration for our show.
At the time, molding our show based on the same concept and intent of Victor Green's famous Black Traveling Guide made a lot of sense, simply because a lot of the reasons why it was published still resonated to this day. But it was on our trip to the Washington State History Museum and experiencing the Smithsonian Institution's traveling exhibit, the Negro Motorist Green Book, that we really grasped the realness of those reasons and the importance of the guide whose impact can still be felt to this day.
A Harlem postman named Victor Hugo Green wanted to provide a resource for Black travelers that could help them maneuver around the ugly racism in America that came in the forms of Jim Crow and sundown towns. So in 1936, he published the first edition of the Green Book, which became an instant success.
Published up until 1967, the Green Book provided Black Americans with information on Black-friendly hotels, restaurants, gas stations, and other places that they can go and feel welcome.
The exhibition, the Negro Motorist Green Book, tells that story and even takes Mr. Green's story and the story of Black travel in America to a whole nother level through beautiful pictures, artifacts, and even interactive exhibits.
Curated by Candacy Taylor, one of the nation's leading Green Book scholars, award-winning authors, photographers, and documentarians, the exhibition offers a glimpse into the history of Black travel and the dangerous environments Blacks traveled in during the time the Green Book was published. Segmented by regions as well as important topics such as law, visitors are easily immersed in the history through many artifacts showcasing the heroes, the allies, and even the villains to Black travelers.
On April 9th, we took the King County Metro Transit Black Lives Matter bus along with our friends at the Washington State Historical Society and other friends who are both longtime and newer residents of Seattle, so to experience the exhibit, and it's safe to say that it had a profound impact on all of us.
Thoroughly enjoyed the exhibit. I thought it brought up a lot of memories for me, having grown up in the South, and I kept wondering whether my grandparents knew about or used the Green Book, because we used to drive from Texas to California, and we never stopped except to get gas. Brought up a lot for me, and I'm so glad I went, and I hope I get to go back and take my grandchildren so they can see what we've gone through, but how resilient Black people are.
Having grown up in Seattle, but parents who came out of the South, Texas and Mississippi, for them to visit their families, our trips to visit them were in a car with 5 kids, going through some very hot temperatures, having that packed lunch, stopping only in the daytime to get gas. But the exhibit today brought back not only those memories, but even those here in Seattle.
But I never understood why, when I was getting ready to travel, my grandmother would say, pack your towels. Don't forget to pack your towels. Now I realize that when they traveled back to Washington State to stay with their relatives, because that was the only place they could stay, is they had to have their towels, their toiletries with them. Not only their food, but their toiletries.
I just want to say that this exhibit gave me such an appreciation, a greater appreciation for parents and our grandparents and how they protected us. The stories that he told us and the reasons that we didn't stop at packing the food like everybody says, it gave me a greater understanding as to why, and the exhibit really showed the resilience of who we are as a people. You can't tell me anything about us, how we make a way out of no way.
It was very educational.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those things that, you know, we've known, we've heard about. To see all of the pictures and the artifacts was just amazing, and seeing all of the businesses that were a part of it. It was really, really educational and moving.
I enjoyed it. I think for me it was not only informative but aesthetically pleasing. So it was just like an entire experience, and then like he's saying, it kind of just snaps me back to reality and kind of bridges some of the things that I've heard in the past from my family, and it just made it make sense. So overall, it was an amazing experience.
The exhibit was really fun. It gave us a lot of perspective on how, you know, black people traveled across the entire country. Some of the things that my grandparents had told me when I was younger growing up, it really gives me some perspective. Makes me want to really appreciate what our ancestors kind of fought for, and continue the fight to make sure that we have a more equitable and a more inclusive, America for our future generations. So.
Powerful. For me and Marley, the exhibit brought to light another intent the guide provided for its readers that also aligned with our show. The Green Book, being that it was first published around the time when more black Americans were beginning to purchase automobiles, meant that the guide further enabled travel for them by providing a list of black-friendly places. And that's exactly what we aim to do with our show. By showing you beautiful people, places, and spaces where currently there are not a lot of black faces, we are hoping the information will enable or at least inspire you to travel so that we can see more of us within those spaces.
Yes, so we will continue to hold true to the same spirit and value that Victor Hugo Green intended to deliver with his book so many years ago when he first published the copy of the Green Book. We just hope our show can serve you all with at least half of the value that the famous travel guide provided to black Americans back then.
Again, the exhibition is running now until June 12th at the Washington State History Museum. You do not want to miss experiencing this. We hope you found this episode to be helpful and entertaining. Be sure to check out our previous episodes.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And check out our merchandise on travelingwhileblackseattle.com. And be sure to reach out if there's anywhere you would like us to check out.
Until next time, beautiful people, stay up, stay true, and do you.